Have you ever pondered how to best support students with autism in a classroom setting? It's not an uncommon question. As educators, we often strive to provide the most effective teaching strategies for all our students. When it comes to students with autism, understanding their unique needs becomes even more crucial. Autism is a broad spectrum, and every individual is unique with their own strengths and challenges. As such, our approach to teaching should be just as diverse and adaptable. By tailoring our strategies, we can create an inclusive learning environment that nurtures their abilities and encourages them to thrive. This video will delve into various strategies that can be employed in the classroom to support students with autism. From individualized learning plans to the use of visual aids, we'll explore practical, tried-and-true methods that can be used to bolster their learning experience. So, join us today as we explore practical strategies for teaching students with autism. Before we delve into strategies, it's crucial to understand what autism is. So what exactly is autism? Autism, or autism spectrum disorder, is a complex, lifelong developmental disability that typically appears during early childhood and affects a person's ability to communicate and interact with others. It's called a spectrum disorder because people with autism can have a range of symptoms. For some, it's a sprinkle of social anxiety and a dash of unique interests. For others, it might mean a profound inability to communicate and a resistance to change. The common thread, however, is that all people on the spectrum process information in their own unique way. They might have different ways of learning, paying attention, or reacting to things. Autism is not a one-size-fits-all condition, and it's essential to remember that each person with autism is a unique individual with their own strengths and challenges. So what are some common characteristics of autism? While individuals with autism may have trouble with social interactions and communication, they might have difficulty understanding other people's feelings or talking about their own. They may also engage in repetitive behaviors like rocking or spinning and have specific, intense interests. However, it's important to remember that these are just general tendencies. Not all individuals with autism will show all of these behaviors, and some may show behaviors not listed here. That's the thing about autism. It's a spectrum, and everyone on it is different. Understanding these basics about autism is vital for anyone who interacts with individuals on the spectrum, especially teachers. Recognizing the unique abilities and challenges of students with autism can help create a more inclusive and effective learning environment. So, when we approach teaching strategies, it's with the understanding that every student with autism has their own unique needs and strengths. We're not trying to fit them into a mold, but rather, we're adapting our teaching to fit them. With a clear understanding of autism, we can now dive into the strategies to support these students effectively. Our first strategy revolves around individualized learning plans. These plans, often referred to as IEPs or individualized education plans, are tools that can help us tailor teaching methods to a student's specific needs. The beauty of an IEP is that it's not a one-size-fits-all solution. It's a flexible tool that can be adjusted and adapted to fit the unique learning style and abilities of each student. It's like a roadmap, guiding us as educators to understand what a student knows, what they need to learn, and how best to facilitate that learning. IEPs can encompass a wide range of elements, from academic goals to social skills, behavioral interventions, and more. They can also include accommodations and modifications to help students succeed in a general education environment. IEPs are a collaborative effort, involving teachers, parents, and often the students themselves. Together, we can create a plan that truly reflects the individual needs and strengths of each student. Remember, every student is unique and therefore requires a unique approach. Next, we explore the power of incorporating a student's interests into their learning. This strategy is all about leveraging those unique passions to make lessons more engaging and meaningful. Picture a student who is fascinated by trains. Imagine transforming a math lesson into a journey of buying train tickets, calculating distances, or drawing up train schedules. Suddenly, numbers aren't abstract concepts anymore. They're tangible tools that fuel the student's passion for trains. This approach extends to any subject. A student who loves art could explore the history behind their favorite art styles, while a music enthusiast could delve into the physics of sound waves. The key is to identify, embrace, and incorporate these interests into lessons, making them relevant and engaging. It's like a secret door to learning, a door that only opens when we connect education to what students truly care about. By integrating interests into lessons, we can capture and hold the attention of students with autism. Let's now turn our attention to the use of visual aids. These are essential tools when it comes to teaching students with autism. Why, you ask? Because these students are often visual thinkers, meaning they understand and remember things more effectively through seeing. What we see has a profound impact on what we do, what we feel, and what we understand. Visual aids can take many forms. They can be pictures, diagrams, charts, or even real objects. For instance, a teacher can use a visual timetable to help students understand the sequence of the day's activities. Or they could use a visual chart to illustrate a complex concept like the water cycle. Another great example is the use of social stories, which are short, simple narratives that provide guidance on how to behave in certain situations. These can help students with autism understand and navigate the social world. Visual aids can be a powerful tool in enhancing understanding and communication. Our final strategy involves the use of positive reinforcement. Positive reinforcement. Now, this is a concept that's not just effective for students with autism, but for everyone. It's all about encouraging and reinforcing good behavior, and it's a strategy that can make a significant difference in the classroom. So what exactly is positive reinforcement? Simply put, it's a technique where you reward a behavior with something positive, encouraging that behavior to be repeated. This could be anything from verbal praise to a tangible reward. But why is it particularly beneficial for students with autism? Well, many students with autism have a heightened sense of fairness and a strong desire for structure and predictability. Positive reinforcement provides this structure, and when used consistently, can create a predictable environment where students know exactly what to expect when they behave in a particular way. Now, let's talk about how you can use positive reinforcement in the classroom. Remember, the key is consistency. Start by identifying the behaviors you want to encourage. This could be anything from raising a hand before speaking, to completing a task on time, to helping a fellow student. Once you've identified these behaviors, decide on a suitable reward. This could be verbal praise, a favorite activity, or even a small token or point system. The reward should be something that the student values and finds motivating. Next, implement the reinforcement. Each time the student exhibits the desired behavior, reward them immediately and explicitly state what they did to earn that reward. For example, you might say, "Great job raising your hand before speaking. You've earned a point towards free time." This helps the student understand exactly what they did right and encourages them to repeat that behavior in the future. Positive reinforcement is not a one-size-fits-all strategy. It's important to tailor your reinforcement to each student's individual needs and interests. And remember, the ultimate goal is not just to manage behavior, but to help each student develop self-confidence and a positive self-image. Positive reinforcement not only encourages good behavior, but also boosts a student's self-confidence. Now that we've gone through these strategies, let's recap. We began by understanding autism, recognizing its spectrum nature and how it impacts the learning process. This understanding forms the foundation of our teaching approach, setting the tone for a personalized and empathetic learning environment. We then delved into the first strategy, individualized learning plans. Remember, every student with autism is unique. Their strengths, weaknesses, interests, and challenges are different. Therefore, creating a tailor-made learning plan for each student not only caters to their specific needs, but also fosters a sense of confidence and belonging in them. Next, we discussed the strategy of incorporating interests. By integrating the students' interests into the learning curriculum, we can engage their attention more effectively. This strategy serves to make learning more enjoyable and relatable for the student, thereby enhancing their overall academic experience. Our third strategy was the use of visual aids. Visuals can be an incredibly powerful tool in teaching students with autism. They provide a clear and concise way of communicating concepts, reducing misunderstandings and anxiety. Additionally, visuals can also aid in developing social and communication skills. Finally, we explored the strategy of positive reinforcement. Rewarding students for their efforts and achievements, no matter how small, can greatly boost their motivation and self-esteem. This strategy not only encourages positive behavior, but also promotes a love for learning. As we wrap up, let's remember that these strategies are not exclusive. They can be used in combination, adapted, and modified to best suit each student's needs. It's all about being flexible and patient in our approach. Moreover, these strategies are not just for teachers. Parents, caregivers, and anyone working with students with autism can benefit from understanding and applying these methods. In conclusion, teaching students with autism may present unique challenges, but it also offers unique rewards. With the right strategies, patience, and understanding, we can create an inclusive and supportive learning environment that truly caters to these students' needs. Remember, with the right strategies and understanding, we can create an inclusive and supportive learning environment for students with autism.